Welcome to the Wisdom of 21 Winning Women and Their Lessons. My name is Reverend Joy Dore, and I'll be your host today. The purpose of this summit is to empower, to inspire, educate women by showcasing the diverse experiences and wisdom of 21 accomplished women who have achieved success in their respective fields. The summit aims to create a platform for collaboration, learning, and networking, fostering a supportive community for women striving for excellence. Lastly, help women embrace their winning moments, regardless of how small or big, towards a successful and fulfilling life. And this time we are looking to empower, excel, embrace, and elevate. So I have in the house today Tilley Fine, who is a certified stress and anxiety coach, keynote speaker, and mental health advocate. She incorporates a unique blend of traditional coaching and therapy with spiritual, scientific, and practical approaches. Her focus is on regulating the nervous system to understand why we have anxiety and how to use it to our benefit. I had to pause there when like using anxiety to our benefit. That's the best coach to have in the house today. Because I know so many people are going through anxiety, stress, and they don't even know how to manage it, much less how to benefit on it. And that is why I have her on this summit, to be able to, because of what she has done, which is, she has helped hundreds of people move beyond their stressed and anxious minds into a state of deep personal success. She supports individuals, families, and groups worldwide in navigating through her childhood trauma and cultural influences affect us in our present lives. Her passion is to radically shift the way we think about life's challenges by ending the cycle of stress and anxiety, healing and connection. So, and that's how I'm gonna usher in the one and only who, her passion to me is just, I can't wait but hear who she is and a little about herself as we get into this program today. Welcome once again.
Thank you, Joy. It's such an honor to be here.
Yes, and can you, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live, who you are, and just all about you, before we get into all that we have today. We want to know who our expert is and who is going to be taking us through this journey. Also, we want to know how she ended or learned it, or, all that about you. We are so interested. And I want to welcome all the audience who are, part of this program today. Once again, welcome. And as I said, our coach is in the house. So all you have to do is, I love people who comes with pen and paper to, get all that she's gonna, give us today, that is gonna help us with one of the, Tilly, stress and anxiety is one of the greatest, things that I'm so happy that we are starting the summit with you, today, because even in my home presently, I'll tell you that I need the strategy to actually fight the anxiety and stress. Might not be for me, but who knows, my husband or somebody watching us right now, or a sister or a brother, or those women, that are part of this summit, they, maybe might be going through stress, because life is just full of stress. And with that, now people become anxious and all that. So there's no better person to have with us today than you. So just take it away. Let us hear how your journey has been.
I would love to. Thank you. Thank you so much. So for me, what I realized is that wherever I was in my life, whether I was growing up, whether when I went to college, when I started working, I created an amazing career in the corporate world, in the entertainment industry. And then I stopped that and started doing coaching. Throughout all those processes, I carried the anxiety and stress with me. And until I figured out how to address the root of your anxiety and your stress, we just carry it through no matter what situation. We can change our situations. We can move to a different country. I've lived in South Africa. I've lived in London. I've lived now I live in Los Angeles. And if we don't address the anxiety within us, because we store it all in our bodies, we will just continue to carry that anxiety with us. So for me, the journey started, I was very successful as a career in the entertainment industry, and what I thought, on paper was what I was supposed to do, what I was supposed to achieve. I had the title, the car, the house, the income, all of that, which I assumed would bring me satisfaction and would be what in the Western world we term as success. And then I had my daughter, and that was a big wake up for me, because now I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I am not going to mess up her life. And so that started my coaching, my interest in coaching. I started to take coaching courses, and then I started to take certifications. And then throughout all of this career path on the coaching side, because there is a very, very vast blanket of different modalities of coaching that are out there, I came to understand that the common core that needs to be healed before any of those modalities can work effectively is your nervous system. That all of those modalities comes down to your nervous system. And the reason being is because as humans, we store every single little thing that happens to us in our nervous systems, in our bodies. It's called the ANS, or the autonomic nervous system. So our autonomic, it sort of acts autonomically, it's automatic. And so things that are stored in our body will come out automatically in different situations that we live in. So when we have all kinds of stresses and anxieties stored in our bodies, and those can be from anything. People misunderstand. They say, well, I had a great childhood. There wasn't a lot of stress in my home. Stress, anxiety can come from anything. It can be that you were on the playground and you had a fight with your best friend in kindergarten, and your best friend didn't want to play with you. Or you overheard a sentence that a teacher said that you took inside and you remembered it in your body. Or you were walking down the street and you saw a dog running across the street, almost getting hit by a car. And then you hold that anxiety in your body, and it doesn't go away unless you know how to process that anxiety. And as a culture, we are not taught how to process our anxiety. We just taught to shove it down for the most part. Like, oh, don't worry about it. You'll get over it. Or just move past, push through, go, 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 right? That's our culture. That's what I did. Meanwhile, we're shutting it all down. And since anxiety has become such a mainstream word, just hearing the word anxiety, it reminds our body of all these things that we've suppressed and we've kept in our bodies. And the body is innately built to heal. So our system, our autonomic system, is made to heal. So at any opportunity that it gets, like even just hearing the word anxiety, it's going to say, okay, here's an opportunity. I'm going to bring that anxiety up so that I have an opportunity to heal it. But unfortunately, we are not taught how to process that anxiety. So it just becomes like a cycle, right? Because we just shut it down, or we move through it, and then it stays in our bodies. Eventually, it does come out. It will come out. It comes out in the form of illness, health-related, could be a mental health issue, depression, anxiety, disorientation, any of those anxiety-related mental health issues that we can develop. Or it can come out physically in an illness or a symptom, migraines, IBS, autoimmune diseases, but it will eventually come out. And so it's important that we learn how to deal with the anxiety that is stored in our bodies.
Wow. Oh my God, that was like a lot, you know.
That's a lot, yes.
Yeah, guys, I hope you're tracking because this is gonna be huge for you guys, and I'm so happy that you said yes to this interview, and this is gonna be such a blessing, and that is gonna bring me to the second question that I have for you. You know, like reflecting on your journey, you know, what personal experience or turning points led to you pursuing a career in a stress and anxiety coach? You know, the keynote and speaker that you are, a mental health advocate, right? How did your own experience shape your passion for helping others manage stress and anxiety?
Love that question. I started my journey in coaching was in conscious parenting. So I became certified through the Dr. Shafali Institute in conscious parenting because I had a daughter. So my focus was on how can I help my daughter not have to experience all the things that I've experienced, right? And then that just set off, I realized that there's just so much more to what comes with to being conscious about. Being conscious is definitely the first step. Being conscious about how we are, how we're perceived in the world, what we say, how we react is extremely important. But then I started to understand that there's that relation between the mind and the body. And we can't just talk ourselves out of situations. Yes, talk therapy, talking is very, very important and very much needed. But if you don't affiliate the body with the mind, it's just going to be something temporary. It'll come back again. Or in actual fact, you can re-traumatize yourself if you're going to verbally relive any experience that you've had in the past that has caused you stress and anxiety. So for me, that led me to understand and focus and study on the body and how we hold the stress and anxiety within our bodies so that we can release that through regulating our nervous system. And then I discovered that we're never taught how to regulate our nervous system correctly. It's just not something that's intrinsically taught. It's something you have to basically seek out. And it's a very simple process. It's just really not something that is emphasized in our culture.
Wow, that is so powerful. You know, having your daughter, like, you know, many moms out there, you know, a lot of us have fear on, we don't want the things that happen to our, you know, to us to happen to them. And I even like a few days ago, I was telling my first baby who, you know, happens to have so much, you know, like up there. She just too, to me, she's so old for her age. And every time I watch her, I said, girl, you're just gonna be great. So I'm speaking to her so that it won't look like, oh, somebody telling me in those days, oh, I don't want you to end up like this auntie. No. So you were thinking about your daughter, and that, you know, kind of like kickstart the passion. So I believe that a lot of women will relate with that, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing. So thank you for, you know, going into that just to make sure that your daughter don't go, you know, to that place or take those things serious. It's just the mind. You know, a lot of things that happen to us is the mind. So thank you
Yes,
for that.
yes, and just to emphasize, I was gifted enough to have a daughter that really pushes against me. So she's not a compliant child. She's not one of the what we would term a good child. Not that I believe in a good or a bad child, but in terms of being compliant, and I'm really grateful for that because had she been a child that just listened to everything I said, I would have been the most controlling helicopter mom that you can imagine. But because she pushed against me and everything I wanted her to do, she is the one that has allowed me to grow and to look internally to myself, because it's never about the child or the person on the outside. The journey is within ourselves, and how can we help ourselves? So I'm truly grateful to her. She's a teenager now, and she still is pushing against me. So I continue to grow, and I think I always will, thanks to her.
Wow, wow, that's so powerful. Moms, you guys can't hear that? Oh my God. You know how many of us wouldn't want our daughters to actually push against us. Meanwhile, it's a learning process. Because I
Yeah.
just see everything as a learning process. But how many of us we kind of like relate and say, okay, this is a learning process. Let me learn it the right way. That's so awesome. So I have that even you're taking me to the next question I have for you, coach in the house today. How do you approach helping individuals, manage stress and anxiety? And what unique strategies or techniques do you find most effective in your coaching practice?
Lovely questions. So my approach is pretty different to a traditional coach or a talk therapy, because most coaches, mindset, meditation, most of those coaches, it is you stay in your head and it's how you think. So they go back, well, you're doing this because you think and feel this, and that's what's making you react this way, or you're here because of this situation that happened, and that made you go in this direction, and that's how you got here. For me, which is a little bit more unique, is that I focus on your body and your body sensations and making you feel safe. And then it doesn't matter what situation you've been through or what activated you or triggered you to get where you are. So if somebody is super anxious, let's say, to speak on camera as an example, in my work, I don't necessarily have to go back and find out what happened to them and why they're super anxious to go on camera. I focus on the body, what the body is telling us, and it doesn't matter what the situation is, because the body will heal naturally. So whatever is stored in your body, it doesn't matter. We don't have to go back and figure out what it is that got you here. We heal through the body, through regulating the nervous system. With a regulated nervous system, it gives us a capacity for those stressors, those anxieties, those feelings, those emotions to actually come up and out. And we give them the space to come up and out without even having to know what the situation is. Yes, of course, there are times when your body will bring up a memory, when there's a specific topic you do want to talk about, you do want to address that topic, then we do that, of course. But it's not necessary. And it all starts with feeling safe in our bodies. It is amazing to me, Joy, how many people I work with that have never experienced feeling safe in their bodies. They don't know what that sensation is, because we're never taught how to really be in your body. So that's the basis of what I do, feeling safe in your body. It's slightly different for everyone because we're all individual, but it's very simple processes. When you start to feel safe in your body, you then can build capacity to deal with any stresses, any anxiety, any autoimmune, any diseases, anything that may come up. But it all starts with regulating your nervous system and feeling and the safety in your body. If we skip that, which often the time happens, so breath, if I choose something like breath, a different modality, breath work, cold plunging, mindset, meditation, all of those are extremely important and needed. But if you skip the part of first regulating your nervous system, there's a chance that you are going to shut down any trauma or stress stored in your body in order to do that process. So as an example, a lot of people say, I can't meditate. I can't sit still. I have a monkey mind. It's just not for me. This was me when I started. And they try to sit down, right? They sit and they get all the right things, and you sit and you try to be quiet. You try to be calm. You may listen to something. You may listen to me. Like, there's so many different techniques, and you're trying to shut down your mind. And then there are those meditations that just, watch your mind. But the goal is first to feel safe in your body. And that's what people miss a lot of times. So when you try to shut something down, you're blocking it even more. You're actually suppressing the traumas, the anxieties in your body when you try to shut down. If you're not first aware of, okay, I need to feel safe in my body, I need to orient to where I am, I need to get in my body first, and then it doesn't matter what the mind does. But we have to literally feel safe in our bodies and regulate our nervous systems before. Otherwise, most of my clients have been trying modalities and they last about a 12-month period around that. And then it comes back to and they're like, well, wait a minute, this was great. I've done it for a year, but I'm back to where I was in the beginning. Like I'm still back, I'm still experiencing the same symptoms. And that's typically what happens because they didn't start with a regulated nervous system. Now, I don't want to undermine, like breath work changed my life. Meditation transformed me. So they are very necessary. But sometimes people who teach those techniques are not educated in the nervous system, and which is always the first point. It's always something that you have to address first, and the safety in our bodies and regulating our nervous system.
Wow. I didn't even know you finished. I thought you keep going. Because I loving what I see, you know, I loving it. Yes, yes, yes. So trust me, I was listening to opera like 2 days ago. What you just shared here really blessed me because I was listening to her and she asked a particular lady. Don't ask me, I didn't get the lady's name. It was just opera I saw, right? Yeah. And he asked, the lady said, what will you tell young girls today, you know, that want to find themselves? And, you know, just something you like a phrase you're going to tell them. And the lady says something like, I want to let them know that they should love themselves, right? I was like, opera was like, really? So she was, what do you mean? He said, yeah, they should love themselves, especially around their mirror. You know, when you're talking, like, finding yourself, like, making sure that you find yourself. But that was what I heard. I believe that's what you're trying to say. As much as all these other meditation is there, all this other, everything is there. This particular aspect of life of finding yourself first so that you can actually relate with everything happening inside of you is a first step to all the other programs. And that really brought me to how the lady put it, like love yourself, like just around the mirror when nobody's there. Just see yourself like for who you are. And I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed the way you put it. And I'm telling you, it's so much knowledge that I believe all the people watching us right now who are still going through anxiety, if they actually even practice what you just said, not just taking their mind all over with, because truly so many people cannot focus to do meditation. And I'm serious about it. I am. They have in fact, I was on a call one day and like a leadership call, coaching call, and a lady that been in the industry for so long, she done so well. She's even one of the ladies I love to watch. And when they like giving her something she asked, and the person said, you have to start with meditation. She said all her life, she has never get it right. She can't shut down for no meditation. I was like, and whatever we went to that coaching class for, I saw that indeed the lady really needed that coaching, but at the same time, she haven't found herself with all that she has done. So it's not just for ordinary people. So many people need to actually find themselves before they can even meditate or do when you mentioned the co-regulation,
nervous system.
Yeah, the code thing, I realized one of the things I went sometime last year, our mentor told us to put our hands or our whole body into a code, into an ice pack.
Plunging. Yes, the
cold plunging. Good. And I was like, I need to find myself before I do that. I only did it one time. I'm just telling you. Only one time I did it. I said, no, this is not for me. Yes, but listening to you today, like if I truly found myself then, which I'm still working on the way to get right now, with all the learning I'm getting today, who knows? I will push through and do that cold plunging. Yes, I'll push through because I finally found myself, but I couldn't do it. So you're right. And that bringing me to the second to the last question, because I know, it's a pleasure having you. And once again, thanking all the audience who are going to benefit from this. I don't even know how to call it. This is just, too much learning. And I'm glad that you did this for us, right? So can you share a specific winning story? Some people call it success story, but I call it the winning story from your coaching experience where you witnessed a significant positive transformation in someone's ability to cope with stress and anxiety. What lessons can others draw from this winning story?
Gosh, there's so many. Okay. I'm going to go with the one that pops into my head. I was working with a working mom. She works in the corporate world, and she was like I was when I was in corporate, in a world predominantly male-driven world, so very masculine energy. And she used to have to go into meetings with a lot of mostly men, a lot of board meetings and a lot of meetings where there would be a lot of different people in the room, mostly men, and she would have to, present her side and be part of these meetings. And she had severe anxiety around it in so many different ways, in talking, in being in their presence, in not feeling good enough, in feeling, imposter syndrome. Really, she would sort of freeze every time she went into these meetings. She would find herself, she would freeze in her body. Very normal and very typical. And what that has happened as she was growing up, things have happened to her where she couldn't handle stress or anxiety, or she wasn't taught how to process it. And so when our body protects us and our body goes into freeze, right? Our body will freeze. It's a protection mechanism where your body freezes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when an animal plays dead, right? They play dead, and then whoever's trying to pursue them will, lose interest and leave. As humans, we do that too, but we're a little bit more complex. So we may have had situations where we've had to freeze in order for to survive. And that may be as simple as just bracing yourself when you're going to be in a car accident, right? So your whole body braces because you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have a car accident. And you freeze in that moment, right?
Yes,
so freeze can come in many different forms. But when we don't know how to process it, it gets stuck. And then we have this people she was very high achieving. She had a high title. She was very, very good at her job. She was go, go, go. She never sat down for a minute. She was always first at everything she did, because it's what's called, the term is functional freeze. So your body may be frozen, but you're in functional freeze. You've learned how to push through it, and you're in functional freeze. A lot of Olympic athletes are like that. A lot of athletes, right? Their body can be shut down and freeze because you push through it. You push through the pain. You force yourself to push through it. It's still go, go, go. So most of those A-level personalities, which she was, are actually coming from functional freeze. They're in a frozen state, but they are pushing through it day to day, day to day, day to day. What I taught her, we worked very closely together, is on understanding to regulate her nervous system. She was just like, this is silly. It doesn't make any sense. It's so simple. Like this just doesn't work for me. Which when I have clients that say this to me, I know they are in functional freeze. Those are the ones that really need the help.
Yes.
And so we worked very slowly on, okay, what is it that makes you feel safe? So starting with putting your feet on the ground. Everyone's different. Looking around. Can you see the sky? Can you see a plant? Does that help regulate your system? Can you look at an animal? Can you feel your bum in the seat? Can you feel the support of the chair underneath you? Can you feel the support of the chair on your back supporting you as you sit? We went through and found situations. For her, it was like being in nature, being out in nature and walking around nature. That made her feel, she lived right near the beach, by the ocean. So that made her feel that she could go out in nature, and that settled her nervous system. Then we took that feeling into the office. How do you feel safe in the office? And what happened is eventually that functional freeze started to thaw out. It happens in layers. It's not a one-time thing. And then before those client meetings, we would regulate her nervous system. So her system would get regulated so that she could then go into these client meetings and present without having that anxiety and without having to push herself. Dramatic difference. It did take time, and these things are layered, right? So it's not just one time it happens and then you're fine.
Yes.
You have to continually do the work. But she did transform, and now she has the tools. It's just about having the tools, right? And going back to them, using them. And when you have the tools, you are good to go.
Wow. Wow. That is so powerful. Oh my God. And I'm so glad that you were able to help, right? And
Yes.
thank you so much. I just want to, first of all, before I do the last question, thank you for, honoring our invitation. Thank you for being one of our experts in this summit we are having this season for women who, we are trying to make them most importantly embrace their small wins, which is, where we all came from before we even realized that we are gifted to coach others or to train others or all that. And some of them, as you said, are not even you're a career woman. So even in all that you did, you still needed to find the best part of you, which is,
Yes.
what you found, and you're now helping others with it. And we are
Yes.
so honored. We are so honored. So the last thing is, how would people who want to do exactly what you do or doing find you or connect with you? And also, while you share that, tell our audience about your free gift that you have for them today, and take it from there.
Okay. I am on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok as Tilley Fine, just my name, Tilley Fine, and my website is tilleyfine.com. And my gift for everyone today is actually it's called a stress decoder, and it's actual steps that you can take to follow to get rid of your stress and your anxiety. So it's a practical step-by-step routine that you can do, and that will help you understand who you are yourself, like you say, and it'll help guide you through the steps and what you have to do to feel safe in your body so that you can manage the stresses and anxiety that we have.
Wow, powerful, powerful. Thank you so much, Tilley Fine. I just love to call the two names together, Tilley Fine. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, our coach today. And I really want to thank the audience for, joining us till this time. And if you have watched us till now, I just want you to know that you don't want to miss the other one. You don't want to miss all of that, all of the other interviews, because, hey, when I was thinking about this today, Tilly, I was, saying to myself, what even triggered this? What triggered this was, many months ago, I decided to make a comeback and start back. And I went to 30days.com, where you listen to about 30 individuals and choose one person to work with, which is why everybody watching me, you don't want to miss the rest interview. Yes, we've had Tilly, and she's such a blessing. We'll have other 20 ladies who are going to be sharing their experience, just like the powerhouse that we have right now with us. So, and it was after I listened to, read all about all the 30 people and what they had, I just chose one, and choosing one has been a blessing doing that. So you don't want to miss the other one. And also, I just want to especially, as we close today, to say thank you so much for every work you've done. I've watched some of your work, some of your page since we met, last year, and I realized the passion you have to just help people come out of where they are and just, let them see the easy side of life. Because, hey, if we can all solve anxiety and stress problem, we will live longer. Yes, so that was one of the reasons why you became, one of the experts in this summit, because this summit, as I said, is from a place of, giving just too much to get everyone that finished this program with us to just get their life back and know that if Tilly can do it, I can do it. Whether you're a career woman, you're an ordinary woman, wherever wherever you're all right now, we want the best for you. And that is why our most honorable has given us the whole entire minutes, to just be here and share who she is and what she can deliver. So as you guys know, she have a free gift for you. So when you get there, you grab it, help yourself, and let's get our life back. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.